It is Wednesday. It is 1:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you're listening to War Notes, your nonstop update on U.S. and global developments. No breaks, no segments, just live, unfiltered news for my listeners. And just stay with us because there's some good stuff that I have for you today. It's just uh, all your facts, all conjoined into one brief, broadcast. And so you all are not confused. There's a lot of information going on out there, and you just need it all in one. You need too much confusion, too much propaganda, is what I would call it. President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, arrived in Moscow today and met with Russian President Vladimir Putin as part of efforts to negotiate a ceasefire in Ukraine ahead of a looming August 8 sunset deadline. Despite signaling that the meeting was, quote, highly productive, end quote, the White House has confirmed second sanctions on Russia will still begin as planned. Meanwhile, President Trump issued an executive order imposing an additional 25% tariff on imports from India, targeting Russian oil purchases via India, and effective August 27th to curb support for Russia's war economy. Officials say that the administration is considering extending similar tariffs to other nations importing Russian oil indirectly. Domestically, U.S. stock futures rose modestly. The Dow is up 0.4%, with S&P 500 and NASDAQ also slightly higher. Solid earnings from Apple and McDonald's lifted markets despite setbacks from AMD and Supermicro, both reporting disappointing results. Apple is also expected to announce a $100 billion domestic manufacturing investment in the U.S., reinforcing its previous $500 billion pledge over 4 years. In Texas, Republican Governor Greg Abbott sought to remove Democratic legislative leader Gene Wu from office after over 50 Democrats fled the state to block GOP redistricting efforts. The standstill has escalated political tensions at the state level. A federal judge blocked the Trump administration from reallocating $4.5 billion in FEMA disaster relief funds, halting plans to divert congressionally approved money from climate resilience projects. Immigration enforcement continued in the spotlight. A Cuban detainee has now only survived over 2 weeks on hunger strike in Florida, protesting conditions at ICE facilities. A Senate investigation has meanwhile uncovered hundreds of alleged human rights violations at immigration jails, including abuse allegations involving children and pregnant individuals. Activists also set up a protest camp outside of ICE's New York City office today. On the environment and energy front, the EPA plans to cancel $7 billion in grants for rooftop solar installations aimed at low and moderate income households. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders condemned the move as protectionist for fossil fuel interests. Internationally, world leaders commemorated the 80th anniversary of the Hiroshima bombing today. The mayor of Hiroshima appealed for global nuclear disarmament, while the UN Secretary General and Pope Leo criticized current nuclear deterrence policies, citing escalating conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East. In Europe, Poland inaugurated nationalist Karol Nawrocki as its new president, pledging resistance to migration and EU economic integration. In France, the country battles its largest wildfire this summer, while in Italy, the government approved a $15.5 billion suspension bridge linking Sicily to the mainland. In aerospace, Turkey's Bekar Kizalemla combat drone enters full production and is expected to enter service by 2026. Now that ends your uninterrupted update. I thank you all for listening to War Notes Live, and we will continue monitoring developments. Please stay informed, stay alert, and we are signing off. And today again is August 6th, 2025, and we are signing off at 1:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thank you all for listening, and remember that the replay will be available as soon as the stream ends. And if you are not already subscribed, I invite you all to subscribe to this wonderful old school radio broadcast and share and like the video if you wish to do so. I thank you all for listening to your non-stop update from War Notes. Have a beautiful and blessed day.